Hey, happy snow day. All right, this is the first ever snow day video. And we're gonna hope that nobody knocks on the door because it is definitely third block and I have to be done with this in roughly 10 minutes. All right, but very easy. So we're just gonna cover what we were supposed to cover today. We're still gonna do it Monday. Whenever we come back, we're still gonna do it, but just so you can do the Canvas assignment. But it's real easy. You already know about independent and dependent variables. I think you learned it in science, but same thing. The independent variable represents the x variable. So the x variable. So if we're looking at our graph, this is the independent variable. Okay? Your independent variable is also the input. This is what you plug in. So you know how we plug in for x? The independent variable is what you plug in for x. You need to know that the independent variable is what we can change. So what we can manipulate. That's it. The dependent variable is literally the complete opposite. So the independent variable is represented by the y variable. So independent is the x, dependent is the y. X and y. That's it. Today was fairly easy. The dependent variable is also the output, so what we get or the answer. And then it's also what we measure. So when we change the independent variable, what happens to the dependent variable? So what we measure. That's it. That's today's lesson for real. You don't have to take these notes. You can, but I have note sheets for you that we're gonna do Monday. So just make sure you understand now so you can do the assignment. So when we're talking about functions, which is what we're learning in this unit, this is how you speak of it. Is blank is a function of blank. Blank is a function of blank. The first blank is your dependent variable, and the other one is your independent variable. I like to teach y'all that whenever you're learning this, blank, the dependent variable is a function of the independent variable. Think of it as this. The dependent depends on the independent. That's it. This is really essentially the same thing, but we don't use this. Do not go on the test or anything and be like, blank depends on blank. No. The correct way to say it is blank is a function of blank, or the dependent is a function of the independent. But as you're learning it, this is how I want you to kind of think about it so it makes more sense, because we're not used to talking like this yet. But this is essentially the same thing. So whatever you fill in right here should depend on whatever you fill in right here. Okay? So this, maybe write this down so while you're doing the assignment, you can get in the habit of using it. But your dependent variable is a function of your independent variable. I'm trying to rush because I don't want nobody to knock on the door because I've been in here silent hiding. Okay, so an increase in temperature correlates with an increase in ice cream sales. When you're trying to figure out which one is which, I want you to think of which one depends on the other. So if we're talking about temperature and ice cream sales, the amount of ice cream we sell would depend on the temperature, right? Right? Independent is what we can change or what is changing. So temperature is my independent and ice cream sales is the dependent. And when we're writing our function, ice cream sales, or when we're talking about our function, not writing it, sorry. So when we're talking about it, we say ice cream sales are a function of the temperature. Ice cream sales depends on the temperature. Independent variable, no. Sorry. Dependent variable is a function of independent variable. Okay, let's try another one. There seems to be a relationship between the amount of apple pies and the number of apples picked. I'm gonna think to myself, which one depends on the other? So the amount of apple pies we make obviously depends on how many apples we pick, right? So the apples picked, because that's what we can change. And then the dependent is the amount of pies. So, okay, so the amount of pies is a function of the apples picked. Remember our little cheat. The amount of pies depends on the apples picked. The dependent is a function of the independent, okay? That's it. You can do it. Just in case. If I have the equation y equals 3x plus 5, remember your independent is what you plug in. Your dependent is the answer. So my independent, x. Dependent, y. And then y is a function of x. Nothing's changing. We're just using variables as our variables instead of words as our variables. That's it, guys. So real quick, it should be very easy for you to do the Canvas assignment. If you have questions, I will be readily available on GroupMe. Y'all know I wake up early anyway. Hit me up if you got a question. Go ahead and get it done now. Don't wait till later. Now. Do it now. Because you know you're not going to feel like doing it later. Have a great day.
Let's kick it. Ice, ice, baby. Ice, ice, baby. All right, stop.